Hello everyone, welcome to course Heating, Ventilation, Air Conditioning and Refrigeration Engineering. I am Professor Haris Kolle from Department of Mechanical Engineering, Pune Vidyarthi College of Engineering, Nashik. Again, I welcome to all. In Mechanical Engineering in 7th semester, this is the elective subject. Of course, I have taken a right decision for choosing this as an elective subject. Today we will study what are the importance of this subject, how this subject will be helpful to you from your career point of view, what is the examination scheme and the syllabus structure of this subject. So as far as Savitribai Phule Pune University is concerned, in 7th semester this is an elective subject. For this subject you are having 30 marks in semester exam and 70 marks end semester exam, and there is a term of 25 marks. So the total weightage for the subject is 125 marks. The subject code is 402044C. So now we will discuss the objective of this subject. Now in third year engineering you have studied the refrigeration and air conditioning. You know that in refrigeration and air conditioning there are four main components, that is nothing but compressor, condenser, expansion device and the evaporator. So what exactly we are studying? Already I have studied these components, already I have studied the cycles. So what exactly you are going to study in this subject? HVAC. HVAC is nothing but heating, ventilation, air conditioning and refrigeration. Means in this subject we are studying refrigeration engineering as well as air conditioning also. So that four component I have studied, but in HVAC first you are going to study, the objective of this subject for studying this is to study the vapor compression cycle and its different types. Then you should have the knowledge of analyzing the different components of a refrigeration system. You should be able to design the different component of the refrigeration system like compressor, condenser, expansion device and the evaporator. Then you should have the practical aspect of the vapor compression system. Along with that four components, there are also other components and that you should know. Then you should have the knowledge of basic concept of ventilation, infiltration and space distribution techniques. You should able to calculate the building loads, and you should understand the working of the non-conventional air conditioning system. So these are the main objective for behind this subject. Now after studying this subject you should be able to determine the performance parameter of refrigeration system, transcritical and ejector refrigeration system, that we will discuss later on what is that. You should able to find out the performance of compressor, evaporator, condenser and cooling tower. Means you should able to find out the performance of this component. Then you should, along with that component, you should able to describe the refrigerant piping design, capacity and safety control and balancing of vapor compression system. You should able to explain the importance of indoor and outdoor design conditions, internal air quality, ventilation and air distribution system. You should be able to find out the building loads by using different methods, and at last you should know the working of different types of refrigeration system, air conditioning system. So these are the main objective of the subject. Okay, in short you can this objective nothing but first you should know the vapor compression cycle, then you should know its different component, you should be able to design this component, should able to design the refrigerant system, different safety control, and you should be able to find out the capacity. Also, you should able to control the capacity. This is the refrigeration part. The second part is the air conditioning part. Now we will study the unit-wise syllabus. Before studying unit-wise syllabus, we will study where exactly the knowledge of refrigeration and air conditioning is used. If you focus on a pharmaceutical industries, in pharmaceutical industries, they have to maintain the specified temperature and humidity. So for maintaining the specified temperature and humidity, they require the air conditioning system. So as there is a requirement of air conditioning system, they requires the air conditioning engineers. They require the refrigeration engineers. So there is an opportunity to work in that industry. Now dairy plants are there, chocolates industries are there, where they are preparing the milk and other products. They also require the control of the temperature. So again, there is also the requirement of refrigeration engineer, air conditioning engineers. Hospitals are there, big hospitals, malls, cinema halls, theaters are there. In that also there is a refrigeration and air conditioning systems are there. So they also require the air conditioning engineers. And there are a lot of applications, domestic applications are also there. For example, our home refrigerator, freezer, then air conditioner. They are also working on the HVAC principle. So there is also a scope for you for making your career. Now we will study unit-wise syllabus. Unit number 1 is advanced vapor compression cycle. In this cycle, we will take the review of vapor compression cycle. Already you have studied the vapor compression cycle in refrigeration and air conditioning. Again, we will take the review of the cycle. Then second cycle is nothing but the transcritical cycle there and their critical treatments. Transcritical cycle is the advanced version of the vapor compression cycle, the same vapor compression cycle, but it operates at a different temperature limits. Then ejector refrigeration cycle. Ejector refrigeration cycle is same as like your vapor absorption cycle that you have studied in the refrigeration and air conditioning. And at last, the presentation of the cycle on pH and TS chart. So this is only 4 points in unit number 1. So it's a very simple and short topic. Unit number 2 is nothing but thermal design of a refrigeration system company. You know that there are 4 main components: compressor, condenser, expansion device, and the evaporator. So all that 4 components, their design, their performance parameter, their different designation, their standards and codes, we are going to study in unit number 2. So these are the 4 main components along with that cooling tower that we have to study. So there are types and design we are going to study in unit number 2. So in unit number 1 and unit number 2 we have studied the vapor compression cycle, their components and their design. But along with that components, there are also some other equipments, some other systems are required for efficiently working of the system that we have to study in unit number 3. Unit number 3 is nothing but the practical aspect of vapor compression system. So in practical aspect, first we are studying the refrigerant piping. Refrigerant piping is nothing but the pipe which we are using for connecting different components. For example, compressor is connected to condenser, condenser is connected to expansion wall is connected to evaporator by piping, and there is always 2 pipes. One is the inlet and another one is the outlet. So inlet and outlet pipings are also there. So that piping we have to study. When refrigerant is flowing through that pipes, so depending upon the capacity, the size of the pipe will be different. So how to select the pipe of different diameter, that we have to study. So copper tubing piping design for reciprocating and refrigeration system, size of copper tubing, refrigeration load and pressure drop, sizing procedure, suction line and discharge line and liquid line. So this is a part of refrigerant piping. Then capacity control we are going to study. Along with that, we are also studying some safety controls, vapor compression system, balancing of the vapor compression system. Safety control is nothing but what are the different sensors and equipments are used for maintaining temperature and the performance of the different equipments. Now unit number 1, unit number 2 and unit number 3 are related to the components and their design. And now unit number 4, we are moving towards the air conditioning system. Before moving towards the air conditioning system, you should know the basic concept of ventilation and infiltration. So what is meant by ventilation and what is meant by infiltration, that we will study in unit number 4. In that, there are 4 to 5 main points. The first point is indoor design criteria and thermal comfort. Thermal comfort, already you have studied. Thermal comfort is nothing but the condition at which human being feels comfortable. So that first we have to study at what condition human being will feel comfortable, factors affecting the thermal comfort and discomfort diagram, indoor temperature, relative humidity and air velocity at which human being feel comfortable. So that is an indoor design criteria that we will study. Indoor air quality. Outdoor design condition. Outdoor design condition is nothing but the outside environment conditions. The outside environment condition is different for a different location. Then you should able to use the outdoor weather data in the design. You should able to find out the outdoor weather characteristics and their influence. So this is the part that we have to study. Ventilation for cooling, space air distribution, spot cooling and heating. So these are the topics that we are going to study in unit number 4. So after studying the basic concept of ventilation and infiltration, we will move towards unit number 5. Unit number 5 is nothing but the heat load calculation, heat load estimation in building structures. So if you want to design air conditioning system for a building, then you should know first what size of equipment is required. For selecting that equipment or for selecting that air conditioning system, you should know the loads. Load may be heating load, may be a cooling load. So heating load means how much heat is entering into that room. So what are the different sources that contributes the heat load, that we have to study in unit number 5. For example, solar radiation. When solar radiation falls on the building walls, then wall get heated and it will add heat to the room. So if you want to maintain the temperature, then our system must absorb the heat. So these are the different devices, like building walls are there, roofs are there, floors are there, fans are there, equipments are also there, human beings are also there. They are contributing the heat load. So how we can find out the heat added by these equipments, that we will study in heat load estimation unit number 5. And there are different techniques, different softwares are also used for calculating that load, that we will study in unit number 5. Unit number 6 is nothing but the advanced air conditioning system. So again, this is a theory topic, and in that we will study what are the different techniques are used right now. So Desiccant based air conditioning system, we will study in details about Desiccant based air conditioning system. We will study evaporative cooling condition, thermal storage, air conditioning system. Also we will study the heat pump system, heat pump cycle, different heat pumps and system. So this is all about the syllabus of unit number 6. So we have seen the syllabus structure of the subject. So broadly, unit number 1,